I don't know if you can see me. I'm gonna try to tell this story real quickly. I think today's February 26th, Monday. Basically, last night, Wilson and I were riding. We left Opelousas, Louisiana, and we were riding, trying to make it to Jennings, Louisiana, which is halfway between Opelousas and Lake Charles, where we could get to a bike shop because we both need some stuff for our bikes. I had 3 flats in one day before yesterday, and so I need thicker tires, and Wilson needed something for his rack. So we were heading out. We rode quite a bit. I lost Wilson at one point. I was freaking out. The second time, he just rode real quickly ahead of me, and I was just followed as best I could from what he said. I didn't really know if I would ever catch up with him again, so I was mentally preparing myself to go it alone. And I would say maybe about almost 30 miles down the road, he texts me and says he's just up ahead. So caught up to him. He was at a Walmart. I finally went into the Walmart and finally got a dry erase board to do better with my Speare performances. I bought that, figured out how to attach it to the back of my bike. It was pretty big. Did a little performance at the Walmart for 3 young men. They seemed pretty appreciative. And then Wilson and I started the ride from Walmart toward Jennings to get to Lake Charles the next day. And when we got to Jennings, we just turned down this long stretch of road. It was probably about 19 miles of road, and there was houses on the road, but there was absolutely no lights on it. So when the sun finally set around 7 o'clock, by 7:30 it was like pitch black outside. I mean, it was so hard, you could barely see the road. It was just like black. There's houses on the side of the road, but they didn't give off much light at all. So we were just riding in the dark, and Wilson gets out way ahead of me, and as I'm riding I start to feel a wobbling in my back tire, and of course I had a tube that was too large for my tire in there, for one of Wilson's tubes, and it finally went out. It started wobbling. It was finally going dead. So and there were dogs barking everywhere. I think some of them were loose. It was dark, I couldn't really see at all. I tried to pump the tire. I was trying to pump the tire over my head, and it fell the other way, and I bent the valve on the tube as I was pumping it in the dark. And as I'm putting my shoes on to walk the bike the last 5 miles down into Jennings, this guy pulls up in a truck, asks me if I need help. We get my bike.